Hey everyone, so these are my week 8 measurement drawings that I did. I started off with the cube and the vase, and these ones were fairly more of the easier ones just because we had them already sort of pre-mapped out all the ratios for them, and this being somewhat almost symmetrical made it pretty consistent as far as the ratios on each side. Then I have my teapot and my pot of apples, or bowl of apples, sorry. This one was pretty tricky just because it's not very symmetrical and a lot of these points are very different on each end. So figuring out where all these points for the spout and the handle meet, that was pretty challenging, I'd say. And then the lid was pretty easy just because a lot of that is symmetrical. That was definitely easier. And then for my bowl of apples, I kind of went with the ratio. I started, with a box. All these started off with their box around them. I started off with my box, and then when there's overlapping subjects, what sort of helped me was to give them each their own subject box. So I did that for this, and then sort of went off the ratio from bowl to fruits. And I felt like that was at a 60-40 ratio. And then sort of just mapped out the points where a lot of these apples end in the bowl, where they overlap, and where these two subjects overlap as well, finding those points as far as how far it goes over the bowl versus its entire measurement. And then I also have my other teapot with the lid and my pyramid and my sphere. I'd have to say this one was probably the hardest. For some reason, I struggle with getting the angles down right for like these round shapes and really making those look symmetrical and well shaped. So yeah, I think this one was probably the hardest. The lid was pretty tricky as far as these angles, making sure those were right, that they were symmetrical, evenly meeting on both sides. But the graph did help in that way as far as making sure it looked very even. And then I have my pyramid and my sphere. I would say this one was probably my favorite. It was my last one I did, but I think I was probably getting the hang of this more by the time I did this one. So I really liked this one. I gave each of them their own box. Started off with a box around each of them. And then just sort of went off of the ratio of where this sphere overlaps the pyramid. And I felt that was at like a 50-50 here. Met it about halfway. And then sort of found my ratio off of this side of the pyramid versus the front, and finding the proportions of the points at the bottom. And then the points at the top as well. Those were kind of tricky too. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys later.